Hello, my name is Darren Thomas and I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at how to solve linear inequalities in the context of word problems. So why don't we go ahead and get started here. So, as you know, an inequality is something that involves the signs such as, greater than, less than, or also with the greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, like that. That's what they're commonly involved in. And so now we're going to take a look at this word problem here, and we're going to try to piece it together and see how we can make an inequality out of this. You have $8,000 to buy computer desks for a school. Each desk costs $127.06. How many desks can you buy? So we need to figure out what values are we working with here. This is not too deep. So we're working with $8,000 and we're trying to figure out how many computer desks that we can buy, and the price of each desk is $127. Those are the three things that we have. Now, the 8,000 and the 127 are pure numbers. What we don't know is how many computer desks. So in this particular example, we're going to let D equal the number of desks. And this is what we're going to try to figure out. Oops, excuse me. So now the question is, how many desks can we buy? Well, it's very, very simple. We know that each desk, let me switch the color here. We know that each desk is 127.06. And we know that D is going to be times D because we want to know how many of those we can buy at that price. And the And the constraint here is that this value must be less than or equal to $8,000. In other words, we cannot spend more than $8,000. This is why it's an inequality problem. Because you can't buy, say, half a desk. You must buy the whole thing. So whatever number that we ultimately get, we have to round it down to the total number of whole desks, complete desks that we can get. Now, since you're probably already familiar with how to solve a basic equation, this is already very clean. All we simply have to do is divide both sides by 127.06. That's all we got to do. And by doing that, we're able to remove, or we're able to isolate the variable by itself. Excuse me. This is all we have to do. And so now by doing this cancels out right here, and we're left with D on this side. And then, you can put this into a calculator if you want, but if you really want to solve it, just bring the calculator over here and you take 8,000 divided by 127.06 and you get the number 62.96. But now, like I told you before, you cannot buy 0.96 of a desk. So we're going to round down. If we round up, we'll go beyond $8,000. Let me show you that. If I do 63 times 127.06, you can see there I get $8,004.78. Remember, that's beyond my limit. My limit is $8,000. So instead of rounding up to 63 desks, we round down to 62 desks, which gives us our answer. So, I made a mistake here again. It's not equal. It should be, it should be not equal, but less than or equal to 62. We could buy up to 62 desks, or we could buy fewer than that. Anything 62 or less, we will be able to stay within our budget of $8,000. So that's how you do it. That was a fairly clean problem. We're going to do one more just for the sake of clarity to make sure that this makes sense for us. All right, so here's our next one. You sell t-shirts for, looks like $13. Your monthly expenses are $845. How many t-shirts do you need to sell to have $2,795 of profit per month? So, with this particular example, let's just look at what do we know. We are selling t-shirts for $13. Our expenses are $845, and we want a profit of $2,795. And we want to figure out how many t-shirts do we want to sell. So here's something that I know. This $845, it doesn't change. It's a constant, but it's an expense. In other words, it's taken away from my profit. I also know that I'm selling my t-shirt for $13, and I want to know how many t-shirts. Since I don't know how many t-shirts, this will be my variable. And it's go. So if I had to write this out and make it nice and clear for you, it would look something like this. 13, because that's how much the t-shirts are sold for, T. T is going to stand for the t-shirts, because we're trying to figure out how many t-shirts we want to sell. That's what T is going to stand for. So T equals number of t-shirts. That's what that's going to mean. T-shirts. Bad day. T-shirts. That's what it means. So now we want to subtract the 845, because remember, this is coming out of the profit and it's a constant. In other words, the 845 does not change. It's always the same each month. Now we want this to be greater than or equal to 2795. So if we make more than 2795 per month, that's great, but it has to at least equal that. That is our goal. Now again, I think from here it's pretty self-explanatory exactly what needs to be done. All you have to do is first you want to subtract or add the constant to both sides. So we add 845. We're trying to isolate the t. That's our goal. So add the 845 again. And so now you're left with, let's see here. You got 13 t again, still greater than or equal to, and now it goes up to 3640. And then now we want to, again, like you're already familiar with, we want to isolate this variable t here. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sides by 13. Divide by 13. Divide by 13. This will cancel out, as you know, and we're left with t is greater than or equal to 280. Again, you can solve this on a calculator. It's not that hard. So in other words, we need to sell 280 t-shirts or more to meet our profit, our target goal of having a profit of $2,795 per month. That's quite a successful business coming out of someone's house. So in this particular video, we looked at two examples of how to solve a linear inequality through the context of a word problem. And so what you need to do is very simple. You must figure out what are the values that you have, and you must determine what the variable is and then solve accordingly. Once you set up the problem, which normally is not that complicated, it's just like solving a basic equation that you learned in previous lessons of algebra. So I hope that this video was very useful for you. My name is Darren Thomas. I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. Take care.